Good evening, class, and welcome to your virtual math course, Math 60. My name is Dr. Araipo. You can call me Dr. A if you're more comfortable with that. I know I have a hard time pronouncing my name, so that's absolutely fine. I have sent you several emails regarding the course as of a couple of weeks ago. I hope you've had a chance to explore your course. So if you have, this is what you've seen. This is the homepage of Canvas. First, there is a short message welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here, and I hope everything works out this semester for all of you. And I'm here to help you in any way I can. The next one, again, so just look at it, the way it's set up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it moves on. So I want to move on to number 2, class philosophy. Let me put this up. Well, you have my email address in case, mraipur@lbcc.edu, and normally I answer my emails very fast. Going back to the home page of Canvas, number 3 is the announcements. Let me put this in student mode. And if you click on the announcements, these are the announcements that have been emailed to you, starting with recorded orientation and orientation exemption. This one has an old orientation, and we updated, of course, now. We have welcome and orientation, welcome to your virtual course, and there were a few of them because I started sending this a couple of weeks ago. The purpose of that simply was to get you started with the course if you wanted to explore and navigate what we have to offer. Now, number 4, before I go to number 4, which has the syllabus, modules, homework, and quiz, discussion forum, and so on, I want to look at this one, Tech Connect Zoom. At the bottom of the page, what you have here, it clearly indicates student office hours. This is not the class meeting. It has the time and the Zoom meeting. On the left navigation bar, where it says Tech Connect Zoom, if you click on the join, and when you, okay, why does it say that? In any event, Okay, server error, what is this? In any event, when you click on that, it will give you a chance to join. Okay, so that's where you attend the class. So we don't want to mix them up. Let me leave the student mode. Going back to the home page, I'm going to look at number 4, and I'm going to start with the syllabus. You can click on the syllabus right here or on the left navigation bar. You see a couple of things. First, the second one is the calendar, and that gives you roughly the sections that should be covered in order to get ready for each exam. For example, the first exam takes place in week 3. It happens very fast, everybody. And what we cover to get there is just some, limits, okay? And in a few weeks after that, we have the next exam and so on and so forth. There is a chapter 1 review homework coming up in a few days. That's the first assignment. I will discuss that with you again in a moment. So that's the calendar that gives you the information, including the date of each exam. Now, if you go to the syllabus, of course, I put them in a format that it contains topics, because if you are interested in a specific topic, you don't have to waste your time going through the whole thing. That's the reason. But in short, let's look at the synopsis of what we have. It's spring 2025, the date, the name of the course, the section number, student learning outcomes, course objectives, the text. What you have, you really don't need the text because you have a digital access. And when we go to Canvas, it gives us a chance to register from the get-go, okay? And this is the price that I have received. They have told me this is the price, but don't quote me on that. This is what they have told me. If they have changed the price, I don't know. But it's the 9th edition of Calculus, Early Transcendental by James Stone. As far as the calendar, of course, the orientation, you're already here. We don't worry about that. And the date of the exams, not only you can find them in the Excel calendar, you can find them here. All exams are set up that you take them on Saturdays. I believe everybody is here to learn. And so you take the exam, there is no proctorio. And on Monday of that week, you receive an email/announcement that has all the information, including the passwords. Okay? As long as you take it before the due date is fine. It's very important to understand that you want to watch all the recordings of the practice tests, and of course, do all your assignments to get ready to take the exam. The exam expires at 11:59 on Saturdays, all of them, except the last one, the final exam, which is on the final day, which is a Wednesday. Okay. So just to let you know. Also, when you take the exam, most of the questions, some of the questions, I should say, you answer, and they are very basic. Some of them I want you to show work and upload it to Canvas. I don't want anybody to worry about that. I will create them. And the reason I say I don't want anybody to worry about that, we will discuss that on the week of exam, so you know exactly what you need to do. Meeting and important days, calculators. You may use a graphing calculator for certain exams, but you can use the scientific calculator all the time. I have put together some free online calculators for you here. So I highly recommend you check them out and see which one is better and which one is available to you, because I believe most of them are available, but in case. Then we have the tech support for WebAssign. This is the digital platform you do your homework, so in case a question comes up. The information for Math Success Center is here. Other helpful websites are here. And again, back to the grading policy. We have an online homework that we have in multiple attempt. 200 points. It's really easy to get 100% or above 90, 95% because you have multiple attempts. The quiz, you have 100 points. There are several quizzes and you have only one attempt. The test, the same thing, you have one attempt. There are 4 of them. Each one is worth 100 points and a final is 300 points. This is a point system. The total is 1,000 points. 90% or above, that means 900 to 1,000 is A. 80% or above, that means 800 to 899 is B, so on and so on. Makeup policy. You have a whole week when you receive the email from me, so I don't see what anybody needs as far as the makeup work for the exam. Just let me know if it comes up, something comes up in advance. You must take all the exams in order to pass the course. Your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final, as long as the final score is good, meaning B, 80% or higher. Homework, quiz, and discussion board grades are both 95% or higher, and this action will result in a higher letter grade. Now, if you fail to take an exam, you will receive 0 point for that exam, and it will not be dropped or replaced. Okay. Course late work can be done with 10% deduction on a normal basis. When that happens, you get behind and it's very hard to catch up. So I don't recommend it. CSULB 36, study 36. This I find it very helpful. You have 3 times, you have to spend 3 times the number of units per week to really grasp the concept and do well. So for this course, which is a 5-unit course, we are going to need 15 hours per week to do well, minimum, okay? So 15 hours. Dropping policy, if you miss the first day orientation, you're here. If you don't register with the publisher immediately, you miss the first assignment or the first or second exam. Then we have more helpful information such as the SPS, financial aid, and the summary to success, simply put, study the PowerPoint, do your homework and quizzes, study the practice test, and in short, pay attention to practice tests very carefully, and you'll do fine. The student office hours are posted here on the syllabus, as well as the homepage of Canvas at the bottom, okay? There are more helpful websites. Now, netiquette for online learning. Basically, the guidelines is very simple. We want to be professional, courteous. We want to use proper spelling and grammar, and we should always, always, always be positive. So if you, contact your fellow students, just, with courtesy, that'd be wonderful if you guys get together, help each other. And when you write an email, you are a college student, so it has to be a proper email. Make sure you have a subject line which has the information about the course. Okay, Math 60 and the section number. And then when you write it, of course, you write it properly. So this is the syllabus, and I want to go back to the homepage of Canvas. So we looked at number 4, the first one. Then everything else is basically under the modules. But before that, I want to look at also this discussion forum. And what we find under the discussion forum is as follows. Student bios. I put mine as an example. And if you want to put your bio, that would be wonderful. So your fellow students get to know you. And if you want to put a comment for a fellow student, that'd be even better, as long as it has a positive tone and it is encouraging your fellow students. That would be excellent. Uh, Frequently asked questions. There have been some questions in the past. I tried to put them together here, such as how to use a math editor, tech support, where do I find my exam password? As I mentioned, uh, there will be an email sent to students in the beginning of the week when it's the week of the exam, and it has all the information, including the password. For any reason you missed that, you can find it under the announcement under the same name, exam one or next one, exam two, and so on. So that's the discussion board. And going back to the homepage of Canvas, basically, we don't have anything else except the modules where we can find just about everything. However, before I continue and look at modules, let me go back to the left navigation bar, everybody, and take a look at this one, Math Success Center. This is the Math Tutoring Center. Okay. It gives us the hours at the very top. Nowadays, they have a virtual front desk. They have Discord. They have tutoring, free calculator loan program. That one is class first come, first served, obviously. Okay. Uh, they have other things like Net Tutor. That's another tutoring program. Free walk-up or drop-in tutoring available. They are giving us in-person versus online help. And we have stats, math, bootcamp, math for physics. So there are a lot of workshops they have, and there is a lot of help available. So if you need to look at that on the left navigation bar, everybody, click on Math Success Center, and it has all the information that you need. Now, as I mentioned, I want to go to modules. I can click on this or the left navigation bar again, modules. So first, what do we find there in general, and then specifically we look at something. At the very top, you see that it says access the text, if you will, homework, quiz, exam. So if you click on this one, you can access that, and we will look at it at the end. The ebook, the text is available in the form of an ebook. This is the recorded lectures practice test. I'll explain that in a moment. Then you have exam one module, exam two module, weeks 4 to 7, exam 3, and exam 4 module. And then after that, we have all the chapter reviews. And at the bottom, again, that's a resource, which is a TI calculator. So I want to start with the bottom and look at the resource that is available to you. It's a TI calculator, everybody. And if we click on that, we have some information about various TI calculator commands. Also, what you see here, try this one by going to this website. You may be able to get a TI calculator and emulator on your computer. And if it works out, it will look something like this. Now, the reason I say if it works out, because I've had a problem making it work for various computers. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If it does, You can turn it on, clear everything, and start working. It's just like having a calculator at hand. However, whether this works or not, the part that says online calculator here and resources, you can always try those. They are available online. At the very least, you don't have to pay for a calculator that. Then we have some commands here. I thought I put them here. Okay. So we have not only we have the commands, we have a way to probably get an emulator on our computer. We also have online calculator resources, and everything is for free. So that was the very last module, okay? Graphing calculator, this one, before. Then the next one is the extra chapter. You don't have to worry about that. But the one before last is simply a resource. Let's look at the very first module. What do we have? And the first one starts with sort of a pre-calculus review. So I highly recommend you try this just to check your prior knowledge of mathematics, okay? And not only there are questions, also there are keys here, okay? And it has a few parts. It would be nice if you try it again. It's not being graded or anything like that, okay? Trigonometry is here, okay, functions. So, but it's really helpful to you to see where you stand. So under the first module, which we call it exam one module, and it's weeks 1, 2, 3, that's the first. The next one is chapter 1 review, function models, and then in two formats, PowerPoint format and PDF file format. This is the synopsis of chapter 1, which is not being covered in this course. We will go over that as of next week. So you have access to the PowerPoint. We go over it with details. So if you want, you can just sit back, relax, pay attention to the details that we cover. Okay. And of course, when we put it in slide mode, we don't see the solution. Okay. Step by step, we go through the solution. You'll see what I mean when we cover that. So these two are the same. This one is in the PowerPoint format. This is a PDF file format in case. And then this is where we can find all the PowerPoints for the course that I've put together for you. So, for example, you click on the first one, it comes up. And again, if you want, you can download it. If you download it, you put it in slide mode, you can see it step by step. Okay. Now, of course, I've done that with details when it comes to recording. I'll show you in a moment. So, under the modules, the first module is exam one module. We have a pre-calculus review. We have chapter 1 review in both PowerPoint and PDF file format. And the course actually starts from here. We have the chapter 2 called limits and derivatives. This is the lecture PowerPoints, and this is the same thing in I didn't put the PDF file format for that. The reason is because I think you really need to see it in PowerPoint format and in slide mode. At the end, we have the exam review. Now, this is the one, again, in the form of a PowerPoint. And again, when you download and you put it in slide mode, you can see it step by step. Exam 1 module has the pre-calculus review, the chapter 1 review in both format because chapter 1. Then we have the PowerPoints and the exam review. And the same thing repeats for other modules. For example, exam 2 module has chapter 3, exam 2 review, and in this case, we have it in PDF format as well. Going back to the homepage of Canvas, basically we have covered everything. Now we want to discuss the homework, quiz, and exams, which simply put means go back to the modules, and at the very top, you can find all of those. Before I go to WebAssign and your assignments, I want to look at this one. What is the recorded lectures practice test? This one has the practice test that I've shown you previously recorded, starting with chapter 1 review, and then chapter 2, and it goes all the way to the final exam review. The next one is also practice test, and this one is lectures and practice test. And this is again, all of these are my YouTube channels, Calculus 1 lectures from 1.1 to 6.5. We cover up to 6.1, but we have all of those. Again, this one, all of these are exams reviews. Let me just, this is the one that has both lectures as well as practice exams. So I hope it's clear to everybody. Going back to the modules, this one will give us all the recordings that we have. What's next is that you start registering with WebAssign. Some of you have already done that. And this is basically where everything takes place as far as your assignments are concerned. So if you click on that, it takes you to WebAssign. And as always, if you click on all, under the assignments, it tells you what the assignments are, everything from A to Z. Now, I'm going to put this in a student mode in a moment, but what I want you to notice is this. First and foremost, chapter 1 review is due in a couple of days, and I want everybody to actually get it started today. Then the rest of the homework and quizzes, if you look at the date of the exam, it is right before the exam. The first exam is due on the 22nd. And before that is the day that everything is due. Please understand, the reason I did that is because sometimes students keep on asking me to reactivate those for them for various reasons. They're working, they're busy, you name it. That's why I've put all of them due on that day. But the only way to succeed in this course is to do a section In some cases, 2 sections a day, in some cases, 1 section every other day, but on a regular basis, okay? If you wait until the due date, there is no way for anyone to finish all those assignments and do a good job, and more importantly, learn to be able to move on to the exam, okay? Makes it very difficult to take the exam. Now, if I view this as a student, it gives me, again, the set. Notice the first one, chapter 1 review, is due almost right away. And a bunch of stuff is due on the 21st, which means we shouldn't really do it then, but rather we should do it sooner. So if you want to do a homework, you click on it. And what is interesting is that most questions, if not all, have help. For example, I want to do this question. I may find it difficult. Of course, if I go back to my notes and recordings and everything, it should be fine. But let's say it's not. All you have to do in this example, for example, we have it for the first one. I'm not too sure. This one, I will go with the video example. And if you watch that, it can get started. So if you follow that, it will help you do this question. So we have the video example. In case you want to read about it, it will take you to the text. You can read the topic, move on to the next, move on to the next. Okay, everybody. And that is a wonderful tool when you do your assignments. And of course, if anything goes wrong, you can always, if you have a wrong answer, you can say practice another, and it gives you a chance to do a similar example and get full credit for it. That's what I mean by multiple attempts. I hope this is clear to everybody. So that's how you do your homework. And again, remember, you have the list of the assignments here, and make sure you do them in a timely fashion. So let's recap. This is the homepage of Canvas. It starts with a welcoming message, then the philosophy, then the announcements. The announcements are emailed to the students, okay? And so if you miss any of them, all you have to do, just go back to the announcement here and you can find them. If you are coming to class, you have to click on this Tech Connect Zoom on the left side and join. The syllabus was discussed. It has the calendar and the actual syllabus with details. Discussion forum. We have a student bios and frequently asked questions. On the left navigation bar, we can find the Math Success Center. And we have all the information we need. And finally, when you go to modules, on the left navigation bar or right here, at the very top, this is where we have access to our assignments, homework, quizzes, exams. This is where we have access to the book, ebook. This is where we have access to all the previous recordings, the lectures, as well as the practice test. At the bottom, there are two resources. One of them is calculator, one of them is extra chapter. But aside from that, we are concerned for now with module one. Module one has the pre-calculus review, chapter one review, and then it has the PowerPoints for chapter two and exam one review. And that's the synopsis of what you need to do well. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.